Anyway, another update on a former first lady Kunedu Ajman Rollins as when you baby call area ya. Na Samra make say the Ebusia and money be ako a Jubilee House ako kabibi ediache a President John Dramani Mahama say omo mame atwa na nanom won siedo anaso mo de hye no atwa na nanom e won siedo na cameras a capture omo na wo hwe send the situation ni si ete e wo ho no ma tum say a very sad e wo ho wo hwe Senator Rollins nim na say to me say I am in fact very sad na sanso ene nsem e call so e wo Jubilee House enkomodie no sen ene na esite e wo ho no
continent. She was, in the truest sense, a pioneer who carved her own path through the complex and often unforgiving landscape of Ghanaian politics. This is a beautiful tribute written by David Apinga and published on adomonline.com. In adomonline.com, a profile of Ghana's unyielding trailblazer, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rollins, ubehu ewo ho na nso atimi akan ni nyina ebe. And the video that so see ane Nana Konadu Agyeman Rollins ene ma Zaneto ena Kimathi ena ebusua mpanyifo eko Jubilee House ene omokoko mampanyin amane nti wo hwa we video a yen saka free Jubilee House si a nti wo hwa Zaneto tinisio papa ena honorable Emmanuel Amakofi Boa ekranimu hye nkran enye asem de nti we ye omokobo mampanyin amane after amane boy ena presidency issue statement midi kan ekan de emamu nti Nana Konadu Agyeman Rollins is no more. Said the medical kind of profile, no. Her politics defined, the history of the Fourth Republic cannot be written without her monumental impact, as a champion of women empowerment. And only the abremo, Zaneto Rollins ne Kemathi na ebusuafo ni bi video ne da so no enti say the maka no any tribute in memory of the late former first lady ubetimi e de abrayen ye begimre say the ne de bia no na yakan amamo and the fafa your WhatsApp number is 0548 443 523. Charlie. Auntie Anthony Mifetu. Say, please confirm if Nana Konadu has passed away. Yes, indeed, she has. Richard Mills says, okay, you people should not talk about how Ghana was sick just last year now. Now Ghana is 7th. I said, how can investment come to your country? 7th in what? Richard Mills.
And the NTM Koma course so Jubilee House Honoma man boy free honor eba. President John Dramani Mahama just 4 o'clock Ubedi Juma a presidency war. Into your share name saw no so Ebeka Honse. Yeti report from a Jubilee House.
Those are some tributes pouring in for Nana Konadu Agyeman Rollins. Mienko near Maxwell Agbagba Enin Komo. He is reporting from the presidency or a presidential affairs correspondent. Maxwell Akwabe Kosi saying Suni. Yeah. Na a day now bit my catching from the presidency. A hot saying is here.
Presidency had to see more people now say Omoba. But of course, that was also coincided with the swearing in of justices of the High Court. Because Jubilee House at 4 p.m. or banquet hall. In Gofo we already but of course, any unfortunate news way just some minutes ago, family members of the late former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman Rollins just visited the presidency to formally inform the president of the death of their mother. One Omobai and now Zaneto Agyeman Rollins, colloquial member of parliament, and Kimathi Rollins, and Larry Babulati, our envoy to the Sahel states, and in some other family members, come home and by formally informing President Mahama about the unfortunate incident. Sophia, the meeting, it happened behind closed doors. Inside and share what exactly happened during the meeting. My source of meeting Mukache and say it was a very short meeting, and I almost expected also to say President Mahama there can be Kakra Afa during his time when he's speaking at the swearing in of the justices of the High Court, which will start at exactly 4 p.m. And she said, I don't know, young Naya, she say, ABC, Naya say, I mean, the first gentleman of the land, President Mahama Becker, about the death of former First Lady Nana Konedu Ajman Rawlings. But Yanni in comfort degree bonkomo, how they are also processing, the death and what they make of the life of the former First Lady. The family members of justices of the High Court for the swearing in.
Okay.
Many of them we've been speaking to have been eulogizing the former First Lady. They talk about her work as a First Lady from 1981 to 2001, 2 decades being a First Lady, and her active participation in Ghana's political landscape. They talk about how, she empowered women, especially with her 31st December
Women's Movement.
Yes. That was, established in 1982. They say, organizations and NGOs especially with women empowerment. Of course, you can take out 31st December Women's Movement. They talk about how that organization provided a lot of women with skills, in terms of dressmaking, tailoring, hairdressing. 31st December movement. And the brain also about her work in the education sector. 31st December Women's Movement, a boy, SCC daycare centers, the brain, Ghana, providing women and girls, with the needed education. Her role in the her role in the establishment of the 31st December Women's Movement and how she empowered a lot of women is what they've been talking about. Some who have also been speaking to have been eulogizing her role in Ghana's political space. They say that it is a space that a lot of women fear to venture. But, even after serving as a First Lady for 2 decades, she was still active in Ghana's political landscape. So, for instance, they talk about how she contested former President Atta Mills in 2011. They talk about how after losing that flag bearership race in 2012, in 2011, she set up her own, established her own political party, the National Democratic Party, NDP, in 2012, and then went on to become a presidential candidate in the 2016, elections. They talked about how how there was a strain in the relationship with the NDC for some time, but in recent times, they've seen her drawing closer, to the party. So the Brena have been eulogizing her great tenacity and strength as a woman in Ghana's political landscape. And they're saying it's something worth, emulating. Of course, they say they cannot forget her style when it comes to fashion. Obviously, she really stands out. And they've been talking about her signature, headscarf, and how she would usually sew very beautiful clothes, with Ghana's kente, and they believe that, the education that she received also, in Kiev University, she studied arts and textiles. They believe that also played a role in putting her at the top when it comes to traditional fashion and making a fashion statement, with costume, especially putting Ghana on the map. They say that she has really paid her dues when it comes to that. Because I mean, First Lady Debre Abba, she really stands out. When it comes to that area. They talk about the Beijing conference also that happened in China, her participation and all of that. In Tibebena, I can say, we'll miss her. We'll miss her. And of course, we know that her last public appearance was sometime in September. That was in Kumasi, in the Ashanti region, during the funeral of the Asante Hema.
Yeah.
So that is that. A update on a former first lady, Konedu Ajima Rollins. What for an anonymous one see though in a manner akopiem a Jubilee House or more coin for me a president of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, about the passing of their mother. Aha, Dowona TV, Chawarin, a comment section.